President Tedmore, Professor Paz, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and pleasure to open this ceremony for the establishment of the Andrew J. and Erna Finci Viterbi Chair in Information Systems in the Faculty of Computer Science. Information has many synonyms. According to Webster's dictionary, it can be news, intelligence, knowledge acquired in any manner, facts, data, lore, learning, and there are many more. But static knowledge is of limited use. Knowledge needs to be stored and retrieved, transmitted, modified, organized, and reorganized. These processes generate further knowledge, which requires further processing, and so on. Hence, the content of the knowledge or information and the processes applied to it become intertwined. With the exponential growth of information processing technology, which affects us everywhere, in research and at school, in business, industry, or at home in every aspect of our daily lives, this is the age of information. At home and at work, we are in the age of information as customers. Here at Technion, as at other universities of research and or research and development institutes, we are in the age of information as providers of the information systems in their technical aspects, in computer science and technology, in electrical systems, and in management of the information systems. Technion prides itself on having world-class expertise in the field of information systems, in particular in the groups active in computer science, computer engineering, and information engineering. This activity is already recognized throughout the world, but to make further progress, it needs material support. It is therefore most fitting and gratifying that such support should come from a person who himself is not only a long-time friend of Technion, but a senior academic and a well-known expert in this field, who has also established a successful business in communication engineering. The establishment of the Viterbi Chair in Information Systems at Technion is a natural crown to the personal and professional friendship between Dr. Viterbi and Technion. I shall now ask the President to address us. Professor Tedmore, please.
Thank you, Professor Solan. Andrew and Erna Viterbi, Chairman of the Board, Henry Taub, Professor Alexander Solan, Professor Azaria Paz, members of the Board, faculty, and friends. I am indeed delighted to participate in today's dedication of the Andrew J. and Erna Finci Viterbi Chair. This chair in Information System, endowed by Dr. Andrew Viterbi, has a very special significance for me as a fellow scientist. As a world-renowned scientist and entrepreneur, it fills us with pride that Andrew has selected the Technion for establishing a chair. The practice of establishing chairs in the university system is one of the oldest methods to help further the academic process. It is a classic contribution to the university. This chair will support study of the information systems, the same field in which Andrew himself has so excelled. Indeed, Andrew is one of the pioneers of this discipline, which is the basis for the communication technologies which are rapidly changing our lives. In the near future, the information superhighway promises to transform our homes into mind-boggling communication centers. Well known in the business community as the co-founder of Qualcomm and previously the co-founder of Linkabit, Andrew has been involved with mobile satellite and terrestrial communication and signal processing technology for over 30 years. As an academic, Andrew has been associated with the University of California at San Diego for 18 years and has been a professor of electrical and computer engineering science since 1985. He's a member of the National Academy of Engineering in the United States and fellow of the IEEE. Andrew has received international recognition and numerous professional society awards, which include the Christopher Columbus International Award in 1975, the Alexander Graham Bell Medal in 1984, the Marconi International Fellowship Award in 1990, the Shannon Lecturer in 1991, and after his lecture, now everybody knows by now what Shannon did and who he was, and the NEC CNC Foundation Award in 1992. Andrew is a staunch supporter of education, Israel, science, and technology. His time-honored involvement with the Technion ties together all these elements. He was the immediate past president and chairman of the San Diego chapter of the American Technion Society. Nationally, Andrew has served as a member of the Board of Regents and internationally as chairman of the Technion Visiting Review Committee in Electrical Engineering Department a few years ago. Last year, the American Technion Society bestowed on him the Albert Einstein Award, its most prestigious award, on Andrew Viterbi. Andrew's love for his family supersedes everything. His love for education and Jewish heritage is perpetuated in Beit El's Viterbi Religious School, which he and his family have established. We at the Technion are honored to count you among the ranks of our supporters, Andrew. You are a rare example of a person who has excelled both in the academia and in the commercial world, a feat that few can follow. On behalf of the Technion faculty and students, the direct beneficiaries of your generosity, we thank you with all our heart.
Thank you, Professor Tedmer. Professor Azaria Paz of the Faculty of Computer Science will address us now. Professor Paz, please.
Mr. President, members of the board, chairman of the board, ladies and gentlemen. I saw sometime somebody who started a speech by saying he had nothing to say and then proved it during the whole hour. My situation is the other way around. I have a lot to say, but I will concentrate in a few minutes. As a young scientist in the beginning of the 70s, I have visited UCLA on my sabbatical, and there I met Andrew for the first time. And he was already a very prominent professor, and as everybody knew, a lover of Israel. Israeli students will come there and get supervision for their theses and also some social contacts arranged by him, as far as I remember. I remember that when he left UCLA, this was a great loss for everybody, and everybody was very sad about this loss. I would like to put what I want to say about Andrew in a very small nutshell. I remember an anecdote about a very famous mathematician in Germany, Hilbert. He was asked once, why is pure math and applied math so controversial one to another? And he said they are not controversial at all because there is no relationship between them. Now, Andrew and similar others have proved this to be false. In a sense, I would say that Viterbi is actually an abbreviation. And I would say this: V stands for very, I stands for important, T stands for technology, E stands for extraordinary, R stands for revolutionary, B stands for beneficial, and I stands for inventions or ideas and things like that. Well, as from our faculty of computer science, on behalf of them, I would say that we are very proud to have been chosen by Andrew, who dedicated a chair to our faculty. That will be a tremendous help. And I would like to end up by just saying, as you say in America, thanks a million. Actually, maybe I'm short on that. I should say thanks a few million.
Thank you very much, Professor Paz. I shall now read the scroll establishing the chair in Hebrew and in English. In Hebrew, it says, הטכניון, מכון טכנולוגי לישראל, ביום השבעה בתמוז, 5754, שהוא ה-16 ביוני 1994, בשנת 47 למדינת ישראל, הננו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת הקתדרה על שם אנדרו וארנה פינצ'י ויטרבי, במערכות מידע בפקולטה למדעי המחשב, המוקדשת לקידום הידע בתחום מערכות המידע, באמצעות לימוד ומחקר לרווחת האנושות. ולראיה בנו על החתום, נשיא הטכניון פרופסור זאב תדמור, דקן הפקולטה למדעי המחשב, פרופסור זקי ברק. The English version says, Technion-Israel Institute of Technology, on the 7th day of Tammuz, 5754, the 16th day of June, 1994, in the 47th year of the State of Israel, we hereby proclaim the establishment of the Andrew J. and Erna Finci Viterbi Chair in Information Systems in the Faculty of Computer Science, dedicated to the advancement of knowledge in the field of information systems through study and research for the benefit of mankind. In testimony whereof, we hereby affix our signatures, President of the Technion, Professor Zev Tadmor, and Dean, Faculty of Computer Science, Professor Zeki Berk. I shall ask Professor Tadmor to present the scroll to Dr. Viterbi. And there's also a commemorative little piece of sculpture. Dr. Viterbi, if you would like to address us.
Professor Tadmor, Professor Solan, Professor Paz, I cannot respond to your very kind remarks. Distinguished guests, members of the Board of Governors. As I mentioned the other day, for those of you who were on the Monday evening Harvey Prize ceremonies, I got my equal time there, so I will be brief. Let me speak only about the commitment that Erna and I feel for Israel and for the Technion. As some of you know, we were both refugee children in very different ways. I was a parlor refugee, sitting out the war, or growing up in Boston, Massachusetts. She was a real refugee, a card-carrying refugee. She has an International Red Cross card to prove it, but much more seriously, she went through the fear of capture, the terrible times of escaping over mountains, and the potential of the fate that befell so many of her family and of our people. As a result, there's really no question as to the reason for our commitment to the Jewish people and to Israel. At the same time, we are very proud of our children's commitment. Born in the security and peace of the United States, they are nonetheless committed to the State of Israel and also to its organizations and institutions. The two older ones are members of American Technion Society, and I'm proud to say active members, more so now than their father. And even though only one of the two is an engineer, they would be here, and they are very sorry not to be, but professional, business, and in the youngest case, final exams prevented their being able to be here with us. Let me say now a couple of words about the chair and why the choice in information systems. You may think it's a little bit intellectually arrogant of me and Erna in supporting me to endow a chair in so very close to my own field. But I'd like to explain why. For almost exactly 40 years, I've been in contact with Technion graduates, in some cases working very closely with them, and at an accelerating rate in recent years. I have found them to be, to a person, extremely well prepared, very capable people, which is a tribute to the institution that turned them out. But more important than that, I found that I am convinced that the well-being of Israel is in large measure the responsibility of the product of Technion. Several members of your faculty and several graduates have gotten the Israel Defense Prize, which is not well known in the West or outside of Israel for obvious reasons, but is a proof of the importance of their work to the national security. But beyond this, I am completely convinced that this is the field that best exemplifies the biblical expression of turning swords into plowshares. And whereas, unfortunately, the technology of the computer science and the electrical engineering department and of Technion as a whole is still needed for security, it is also the driver for economic development. Hence, I foresee the graduates of this university to lead not only in preserving the security of Israel, but also its economic development, which is so critical to the peace that we all pray for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Viterbi. And I would like to add my own personal congratulations and thanks to you and to Mrs. Viterbi for this chair.